All right, y'all, welcome back to Common Arms channel. Okay, so today we're checking out a very, very highly requested topic. Now, this is exercise vigilant fox. So I think it was just between the US, UK, and Finland. I'm not sure if there's some other countries that played like a smaller role, but this looks like a really, really cool training exercise. So it looks like it was about 4 days long. It actually happened in Finland, specifically Niinisalo. I think that's how you would say it, but yeah, it seems like it was a lot of fun. I know Mighty Finland did like a small video about it as well, so I might do a reaction to that potentially. I might just do it after this, to be honest. But yeah, it looks like it was a lot of fun, and these guys got a free ride to Finland, so that's always pretty cool. So this is from the British Army YouTube channel. There was a few other videos that were recommended to me, but this one I think is going to encompass everything pretty well. It's about 6 minutes long, so yeah, I am very excited. Let's do it. Nice. Okay. Sick start. Okay, so let's see. Sorry, I gotta look at the stuff already. Like, this intro is getting me too hyped, so we gotta slow it down a bit. So the rifle, okay, nice Accuracy International rifle. That camouflage is pretty interesting. I'm not sure what they actually used. It looks like it could be spray paint, but it's like a really, really matte finish, unless it's just like tape. So that's pretty sick. And then we have the NH90, I'm pretty sure, and a CH46. I think I got those right. Sick. So we got the fins on the left, and the Brits there.
So for us, there's a few training objectives. The first one really is to demonstrate the agility of the Agile Task Force, being able to project overseas at pace. The second bit is really how we integrate with a foreign nation and being part of their battle group. Often in the British Army, we train with foreigners as part of our battle group, but very rarely do we get to integrate into one of theirs and understand the intricacies that has in it.
Dude, that's true. Like, training with another country is one thing, but when you actually integrate, especially like if I was a squad leader and all of a sudden I got like some Finns in my squad, that's going to change things up a bit. Some things are going to be pretty obvious as far as like the language barrier. I think most Finns would be okay because they speak English pretty well, but certain commands might be kind of confusing. I think if you're working with your dudes, it's going to be okay because they kind of know what that command means. And even throughout the US, it's kind of synonymous. You can kind of use context clues as well to understand what each command is, but sometimes it might take a little bit of time. But certain things aren't as obvious as far as like the max effective weapons ranges, or even like how much ammo each person is carrying. Because you could have one side, so I have the Finns over here and I have the Americans here. Let's say the Americans are carrying a lot more ammo because they're using like 5.56 or what have you. And the Finns are running dry, so all of a sudden on this side of the squad, everybody is running out of ammo. I mean, I wouldn't probably put the Finns on one side because it's kind of weird, but yeah, all of a sudden this side just runs out of ammo and this side's kind of just doing everything. So certain things to keep in mind, I guess. Really cool place to do training though. That looks sick.
The objective of Vigilant Fox is to work with the Finns, so this is their readiness validation exercise, and by having us working alongside them, not only are they able to learn from us, but we're learning from them and how they work.
Sounds like a really fun time. The weapons look sick. Are those new? I know it's the HK variant, but...
Exercise Vigilant Fox this year includes the company from 2 Rifles, but also the Americans, and then there's 3 ready.
I gotta say, his helmet looks kind of big on him. I don't know. I think they're also... No, okay. It looks like he was wearing like the shoulder armor for a second, but it's just the miles gear. This is basically, if you're doing a force on force, you have the miles gear, which is basically these are sensors, and it's kind of like adult laser tag. So I think that's kind of what's thrown off the look here. Also, his helmet looked kind of big as well, but that's also just because of the miles laser there.
And then there's 3 readiness companies from across the Finnish Defence Force, as well as air defence, artillery, and signals to go along with the exercise.
They're going heavy on the face paint. Jeez. I wonder if the military symbols are the same too, or if that's like a NATO specific thing. Well, I guess Finland isn't NATO yet, but yeah. I wonder how they standardize that here, as far as like briefing and whatnot. That's sick. I don't... Okay, I get it. It's like snipers probably don't have a whole lot of different outfits with them, so a ghillie suit's probably just something that they're going to pack and just rock regardless of where they're going. I mean, depends. If it's like an urban setting, like in Iraq, that's one thing. But yeah, these guys are probably just bringing whatever attire they were trying to use or be effective with in this environment. But yeah, it's kind of funny seeing them wearing ghillie suits at the top of this tower. I mean, it looks cool for sure. But yeah, I'm sure the ghillies definitely help for them to get into position. But yeah, it kind of looks like it's defeating the purpose of the ghillie suit there. Oh, and he's got I think they're the pig gloves. Those have been blowing up a lot recently. A lot of people have been buying those. I haven't tried them myself though. You got the Bradleys, so I guess these are the Americans here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's been different guys working with us. I think it helps a lot, our squad and our home platoon, that we get to work with you guys. I think it has added like such an impact, so that we learn different like operating ways, and that also helps us learn our way in a sense. Since we get to like teach it to other guys, we also learn our ways much better.
Yeah, that's true.
There has been many things that have changed my point of view on how to operate and how to lead.
That is true. Once you start actually teaching, like especially different countries, when you start teaching like different militaries your tactics, it really gives you a firm understanding, because obviously you need to know how to do it to actually teach it. But when you're teaching it, you come up with a little bit more reasoning as to, okay, yeah, this is why we do it. This is why this might work compared to what you do, kind of vice versa. Obviously, tactics aren't going to be 100% the solution, but it's kind of cool to get feedback off of each other, because it really gets the gear spinning as far as, yeah, this is going to be more effective in certain scenarios. This is not going to be as effective in others. Damn, that's a big rush. What does he have in there? Sniper rifle or something? They got the Miles gear as well. Looks a little different from ours. Nice. Hell yeah. Here we go. Are they gonna? Okay, I thought they were gonna fast rope in. It looked like they were gonna hold a hover for a second. So this is kind of like a weird thing that I picked up, I guess, just with the infantry brain. Generally, when you come out of a helicopter, you would set up like a half circle, like a 180-degree security. But you also need to identify, and this is kind of good for the squad leaders and platoon sergeants, you need to identify what the terrain looks like so you could actually just take advantage of it. Because obviously the way that this terrain is formed, you can really start utilizing that for some more effective cover, as opposed to just getting in a circle in the open or a half circle in the open. Just like some small challenges there.
So this is woodland warfare around here. It's very difficult terrain. It's difficult to see, and especially the communication. So as a platoon commander, the command and control is really difficult. The Finns specialise in this kind of area, so that's another thing that we've been working with them, is seeing how effective they are in the woodland environment, and that's because that's something that they train, and they obviously understand that is a lot of their ground is woodland, so they specialise in that. So that's been quite good to prepare us for this. But yeah, the trees they provide a lot of challenge. They do provide cover, but again, it's the communication and the control that is actually probably the biggest challenge, I'd say.
Yeah, that's definitely true, especially at nighttime when you have night vision on, because you're starting to look like you're trying to look through the trees, and your depth perception is usually not too good because you have like one single monocular, like a PVS-14. So you're trying to like see how far everybody is. You're trying to control it, trying to keep them dispersed. Obviously, you want some dispersion, but you also want to keep it a little bit tighter, especially at night, so you can actually control everything. Now, I'd say in the Marines and even in the Army, because I was in North Carolina and also Louisiana, we did a lot of stuff in the woods. We were very, very proficient. That's pretty much what we did the majority of the time, is kind of working in the woods. But I'm not sure. I think with the majority of British Army training, a lot of it was like in like sort of an urban setting. So like Mount or fighting in built up areas. A lot of it has that sort of elements built in. So maybe they don't have as much woods, but I'm not really too sure. I guess if you're further north, you have plenty of sort of, you know, greenery and woodland to use. But maybe further south you don't. I'm not sure. If you guys are in the British Army, let me know what the training normally consists of, if like this woodland stuff is going to be different from what y'all do. Those rifles look kind of slick. Still ugly, but slick. I wouldn't want to use it. And I like bullpup weapons. They're playing this epic music and it's just showing like people's like legs.
The facilities in Finland have been brilliant. You know, having come from Northern Ireland, where we're hugely lucky to have pretty much unlimited access to 2 training areas, having previously served around Salisbury Plain, and you know, having to book rangers at sort of 6 months notice, and then deploying on Opca Brit, where unfortunately again it's getting very congested. The ability to come out here and access training estate you know, without any sort of hindrance has been brilliant.
That's a good perspective as well. When you have like a training area you can just get on, it is super convenient. You really have no excuse to be proficient in that kind of terrain because you can do a bunch with it. Hell yeah. The dude looks sick. Nice camouflage. Works pretty well right where he is at. The multicam's looking pretty good. The MO5 probably definitely works better, but right now where it's all like muddy and stuff, yeah, the multicam looks like it's pretty effective too. All right, nice. I know this was the British Army YouTube channel, but yeah, we didn't really see the Americans at all. They're in the title, but I think we saw them once on like the Bradley, but it's okay. I mean, I guess with my channel, I tend to focus more on the other countries, so I mean, I guess it's good for me, but if you came to this video trying to look for the Americans, yeah, you're probably going to be a little disappointed. Okay, yeah, but it does look like a lot of fun. Now, I know the USS Kearsarge, I think that's how you pronounce it, was in Helsinki. I would imagine it was for this exercise, but I'm not really too sure. So I'm not sure if the Marines were doing the exercise Vigilant Fox as well, kind of just training on different things or training with a different unit, or if they're doing their own thing. So I want to try and see sort of the Marine perspective of that as well. But this video was cool. I do like how they do the interviews with the leadership. Sometimes it can sound very generic because you'll have like the public affairs people come up and ask you very generic questions and you can't really answer it too uniquely. But some of what they're saying, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It kind of gets the gears spinning as far as how helpful it actually is. And you can kind of get they did the interview for both sides. So like he was saying, as far as, you know, teaching allows you to sort of cement your own skills. That is definitely true. And also how the British officer was talking about how the Finns sort of perfected that forest or that woodland warfare, because yeah, that is pretty hard to avoid in Finland. I'm not sure what unit this was specifically with the Brits, but I'm not sure where they're based out of. Maybe they just don't have as much sort of woodland, so they're kind of like not used to that, but that kind of surprised me. But it is kind of cool to sort of get that perspective. And yeah, you can imagine the Finns are going to be more subject matter experts on their terrain, so that's always a big plus. When you're operating in a terrain that you're not really too comfortable in, it's nice to get that feedback. I know with me specifically, I would be pretty hopeless when it came to like cold weather stuff. Desert stuff is like a whole nother ball game as well. There's a bunch of different sort of environments and terrains you can work with. And depending on the country you go to, they're probably going to be specialized in something different from where you're originating from. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. If you guys took part, of course, definitely let me know how it was down in the comment section. Kind of what you trained on, because yeah, this is kind of like a small segment. It was a 4-day exercise, so not crazy long. But yeah, I imagine there was a few sort of things that were covered in this that we didn't really get to see. So I think this video was pretty solid, did a good job, pretty good cinematics, good interviews. Yeah, I'm satisfied. Hopefully you guys are satisfied. If you guys like the video, of course, you can hit that thumbs up, comment, and let me know what you think. But yeah, definitely a good recommendation. And again, getting a free trip to go to Finland to do training is pretty sweet. Hopefully these guys got some off time so they can go check out some stuff like some Longito and reindeer, I guess. But yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one.